Hope you're all doing well. As the road to the World Cup slowly but surely takes shape, the sense of anticipation around Brazil's national team is beginning to rise again. Yesterday, that feeling became even stronger after an important CBF event, where Carlo Ancelotti took the stage and spoke openly about several key issues surrounding Brazil's preparation. But among everything he discussed, one topic clearly stood out above the rest: the squad. Not just any squad, but the squad for the upcoming international window, and, more importantly, how this squad fits into Brazil's long-term World Cup vision. And what Ancelotti revealed gives us plenty to talk about. Before diving into names and positions, let's set the stage. Brazil are set to play two massive international matches in March. On March 27th, they will face France, and just a few days later, on April 1st, they will go up against Croatia. These are not friendly opponents chosen at random. France and Croatia represent the highest level of European football, teams that test your structure, your mentality, and your identity. Naturally, the big question on every Brazilian fan's mind is simple. How ready is this squad, and what exactly is Carlo Ancelotti planning? During the event, Ancelotti made it very clear that preparation is already well underway. He explained that he is personally observing players across multiple continents, Europe, South America, and beyond. He is not relying on reports alone. He is watching players on the pitch, analyzing them in real match conditions, speaking with staff, and closely following their rhythm, fitness, and mindset. According to him, the squad list is getting very close to being finalized. But here is the most important detail, and perhaps the biggest revelation of the entire event. Ancelotti confirmed that this list is not final. Not for March, and certainly not for the World Cup. That single statement changes everything. What Ancelotti is saying, in very clear terms, is that the squad selected for the March matches against France and Croatia should not be seen as the definitive World Cup squad. Even if a player is called up now, it does not guarantee a place in the final tournament. And on the flip side, even if a player is left out, the door is not closed. Changes can and will happen all the way up to the World Cup. Performance, commitment, and consistency will decide everything. Ancelotti was refreshingly honest about this. He openly stated that every single player still has a chance to represent Brazil. There are no untouchables. There are no guaranteed seats. If a player performs well, shows the right mentality, and demonstrates complete dedication to the national team and the Brazilian flag, then that player will be considered. This philosophy alone gives Brazilian fans a reason to feel optimistic. For the first time in a long while, it feels like selection will be based on balance, form, and hunger, not just reputation. Because let's be honest, in recent years, Brazil squads have often left fans feeling slightly unsatisfied. Sometimes the defense looked solid, but the midfield lacked control. Other times the midfield seemed promising, but the fullback positions raised questions. There were moments when everything looked fine, except there was no reliable striker. In short, there was always something missing. No matter how talented the squad looked on paper, one or two weak points always stood out. But this time, there's a growing belief that things might be different. Under Ancelotti, many fans feel that Brazil could finally see a complete squad. One that feels balanced across defense, midfield, and attack. A squad that doesn't leave supporters arguing about glaring holes before the first ball is even kicked. And while some familiar names are expected to return, there is also room for fresh faces. New energy, new hunger, new competition. That brings us to the most crucial and emotional question of all. Neymar Jr., will he be part of this new chapter or not? At the moment, there is no definitive answer, and Ancelotti made sure not to rush it. Neymar is set to return to the pitch on February 5th, playing a classic match with Sao Paulo. That game will be the starting point of his evaluation. Throughout February, Neymar is expected to feature in multiple matches, and every single appearance will matter. His fitness, his sharpness, his movement, and his overall rhythm will all be closely monitored. If Neymar comes through February without any critical problems, no major injuries, no fitness setbacks, and no loss of rhythm, then Ancelotti will absolutely consider him for the March squad. However, nothing is guaranteed. From what we understand, Ancelotti is likely to announce the March squad between March 1st and March 10th. That gives him a narrow but crucial window to assess Neymar's condition in real competitive matches. During this period, Ancelotti will continue doing hands-on work. He will attend Brazilian league matches in person, sit in the stands, and observe players directly. This is not a coach making decisions from behind a desk. This is a coach who wants to feel the game, see reactions, and understand players beyond statistics. And if adjustments are needed, additions or exclusions, he will make them without hesitation. So now, the picture becomes much clearer. The current squad is close to being ready, but it is not locked. New players can still break in. Established names can still lose their place. And most importantly, this squad should not be confused with Brazil's final World Cup squad. That clarity alone changes the mentality of the entire selection process. Another fascinating point Ancelotti emphasized is his definition of importance. For him, technical sharpness is not everything. Yes, talent matters. Yes, quality matters. But what matters even more is commitment, dedication, the willingness to fight for the team, for the badge, and for the country. Ancelotti repeatedly stressed that he values players who are ready to sacrifice themselves for the collective. He even gave a clear example. Douglas Santos, the left back, may not be the most technically gifted player on paper. He is not flashy. He doesn't dominate highlight reels. But he is incredibly effective for the team. He understands his role, executes his responsibilities, and gives everything for the group. This is exactly the type of player Ancelotti appreciates. Someone who may not be a superstar, but who elevates the team through discipline, effort, and commitment. This philosophy tells us a lot about the kind of Brazil Ancelotti wants to build. Not just a team of stars, but a team of warriors. Players who respect the shirt, understand the responsibility, and are willing to put the collective above personal glory. In modern football, that balance between talent and mentality often makes the difference between winning and falling short. From everything Ancelotti said, one conclusion becomes unavoidable. Brazil's squad planning is entering a serious and structured phase. The foundation is almost ready. The vision is clear, and the competition for places is real. Nobody is safe, but everybody has a chance. Perform, stay committed, and prove your dedication, and the door is open. In the coming days, the debate will only intensify. Who is already fixed in the squad? Which positions are locked? Where are the remaining doubts? And how might this squad evolve as the World Cup get closer? Very soon, I will bring you a detailed video discussing what this squad could look like, which players seem almost guaranteed, and where surprises might still happen. For now, this discussion ends here. But the conversation doesn't have to. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Ancelotti is building the right squad? Should Neymar return if he proves his fitness? Which positions still worry you the most? Share your opinions in the comments. And if you regularly follow my content, don't forget, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure to follow the page. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. The journey to the World Cup has begun, and it's going to be one fascinating ride.